ready to take your fudge game to the next level. Today, we're making pistachio fudge. And trust me, this is one recipe you'll want to keep around. With its rich, creamy texture and the perfect crunch of pistachios, this fudge isn't just delicious, it's a total showstopper. Curious about how to get that perfect blend of flavors? Stick around and I'll show you all the tips and tricks I've learned to make this pistachio fudge absolutely irresistible. I'm Arina, and on this channel, I love sharing my favorite recipes, like this delicious pistachio fudge, along with tips to make sure everything looks just as amazing as it tastes. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced baker, I've got you covered. You'll find links to all the tools I'm using and other fun recipes in the description below. Let's jump in and get started. Once everything is measured, I set up a double boiler. If you're not sure how to make one, don't worry. I have another video where I show exactly how to set up a double boiler, so be sure to check it out. I fill my saucepan about 1/3 of the way with water and bring it to a simmer, then reduce the heat to low. I place a large glass mixing bowl over the saucepan, making sure the bowl doesn't touch the water. This setup allows the ingredients to melt slowly and evenly without burning. Next, I add 3 cups of white chocolate chips to the bowl, letting them start to melt. Now I pour in 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, which should also be at room temperature. This helps it blend smoothly with the melted chocolate and butter, giving the fudge its rich, creamy texture. Then I add 1/4 cup of room temperature unsalted butter. The butter helps create a smooth, creamy texture, and being at room temperature ensures it melts seamlessly into the mixture. After that, I add 1 teaspoon of pistachio extract. This gives the fudge a nice nutty flavor and enhances the pistachio taste that we're aiming for. Lastly, I stir in 1 3.4 ounce box of instant pistachio pudding mix. This adds a touch of creaminess and that signature light green hue, making the fudge look as good as it tastes. With everything in the bowl, I start stirring gently with a silicone spatula. It's important to stir slowly and consistently to help all the ingredients blend together evenly. I make sure to scrape along the sides and bottom of the bowl to avoid any bits of chocolate sticking. Patience is key here. Don't rush the melting process, as we want a smooth, creamy fudge base without any lumps. A helpful tip: if you notice any stubborn chunks of chocolate or butter that aren't melting as quickly, try breaking them up with your spatula as you stir. This will help them melt down faster without overworking the mixture. I always keep an eye on the texture, making sure everything becomes a smooth, glossy consistency. When the mixture is completely melted and silky, that's when I know it's ready to move on to the next step. Taking the time here really ensures the perfect base for a rich, velvety pistachio fudge. I hope you're having as much fun making this pistachio fudge as I am. If you're enjoying this recipe, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss out on more sweet treats. Have you made this fudge before? How did it turn out? Got any tips or tricks of your own? I'd love to hear your ideas. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's dive back in and finish up this delicious fudge. Once the fudge mixture is smooth and glossy, I add half a cup of roughly chopped pistachios to the mix. I fold them in gently with my spatula to ensure they're evenly distributed throughout the fudge. This gives the fudge that perfect crunchy bite in every piece. I absolutely love gifting homemade treats during the holidays. And one of my go-to gifts is a beautifully packaged box filled with a variety of fudges. I like to include different flavors like this pistachio fudge, along with other favorites to give friends and family a sweet assortment to enjoy. And because it's the holidays, I always add a few of my homemade gingerbread cookies to the box. The combination of rich, creamy fudge and spiced gingerbread makes for a thoughtful, delicious gift that everyone looks forward to each year. There's just something special about sharing homemade treats with loved ones. It's a little taste of home in every bite. Next, I prepare my 8x8 glass baking pan by lining it with parchment paper. If you're not sure how to do this, I've got a video that shows exactly how to line your pan with parchment. Check that out for some helpful tips. And here's a little trick. Make sure the parchment paper hangs over the edges of the pan so you can easily lift the fudge out once it's set. If you're wondering about the best pan to use, I've got another video that dives into how to pick the perfect baking pan for fudge. Over the years, I've tried several different pans, and trust me, some work better than others. Choosing the right pan can make a big difference in how your fudge turns out. Once the pan is lined, I pour the fudge mixture in, using a clean spatula to spread it out evenly. I make sure to smooth the surface so there are no bumps or uneven areas. A smooth top makes the fudge look more polished when it's cut later. I also like to gently tap the pan on the counter a couple of times to help release any air bubbles and ensure an even finish. Now comes the fun part. The toppings. I sprinkle 1/3 cup of medium chopped pistachios over the top of the fudge, pressing them gently into the mixture with my spatula. This adds extra texture and makes the fudge look extra special. After that, I place the pan in the refrigerator and let the fudge chill for at least 2 hours. But if you have time, I recommend leaving it overnight for the best results. Once the fudge is fully set, it's time to cut it into perfect squares. I gather all the tools I need: a clean cutting board, disposable gloves, a large knife, and my 5-wheel dough cutter. If you don't have a 5-wheel dough cutter, don't worry. I have a video showing a simpler way to cut fudge into perfect squares. It's super helpful if you want even pieces without any special tools. I also keep a wet kitchen towel nearby to wipe the knife after each cut, which helps me get clean, smooth edges every time. At this point, if you're not ready to cut and serve the fudge, you can actually freeze it as a block for later. I have another video where I show you exactly how to freeze fudge and keep it fresh for weeks. Once you're ready to cut, it's time to get those perfect squares. After removing the fudge from the fridge, I gently peel it off the parchment paper and place it on the cutting board. This is where the overhanging parchment really comes in handy. Makes it so much easier to lift the fudge out without any sticking. Once the fudge is on the board, I take my 5-wheel dough cutter and begin scoring the fudge. I love using this tool because it helps me create perfectly even squares with minimal effort. I start by scoring the fudge in one direction, making sure to apply just enough pressure to mark the surface without cutting all the way through. Then, I turn the fudge block 90 degrees and score again, creating a neat grid. A little tip from me. I always check the spacing before scoring to make sure the squares will be uniform. This way, they all come out the same size. By creating this grid with the dough cutter, you set yourself up for nice, even pieces, which not only look professional, but also make serving and gifting so much easier. Next, I take my large knife and carefully trim the edges of the fudge, wiping the blade clean after each cut with the wet towel. This helps keep the edges sharp and neat. With the edges squared off, I carefully start cutting along the scored lines using a large knife. I take my time with each cut, ensuring the knife glides smoothly through the fudge. After each slice, I make sure to wipe the knife with a damp kitchen towel to prevent any sticking and to keep those edges looking sharp and clean. This simple step makes all the difference in getting professional-looking pieces. Once I've finished the vertical cuts, I turn the fudge 90 degrees and begin cutting along the remaining scored lines. I follow the same process, wiping the knife after each cut to keep everything neat and precise. The fudge starts to take shape into perfectly even squares, and I love how uniform they look. Each square has that perfect balance of creamy fudge and crunchy pistachios, making them not just look great, but taste amazing too. Oh, and what happened to the edges of the fudge I trimmed off earlier? Let's just say my family is more than happy to help by eating those extra bits right away. Those scraps never last long in my house. They're a little bonus treat while I'm finishing up the rest. And there you have it. You're left with beautifully cut pieces of pistachio fudge that are rich, creamy, and sure to impress at any gathering. Whether you're serving them up at a party or saving them for yourself, these little squares are guaranteed to be a hit. If you're thinking about gifting this delicious fudge, I've got you covered. To learn how to package fudge for gifting, be sure to watch my next video where I'll share some fun and creative ideas to make your homemade treats look extra special.